We're gonna roll the intro. Let's go.
Let's go.
What's going on, New Gaming Order? This is Alex Lexus coming at you like the Juggernaut, and I already messed up because I forgot to do local recording, so I had to do this part manually. But that's quite alright because I will do the other ones with local recordings. But anyway, hitting you with the head crush and pimp smacks. New Gaming Order coming at you for Hear Me Out, which is a T-Risk theme project. And today we have Mugen Ketsuki on the ones and twos. So, as we get started, let me get T-Riz to do a quick intro before we get started on one of several possible topics for today. But T-Riz, what's going on, brother?
Oh, hello, New Gaming Order followers. This is T-Risk coming in for the assist and the variable combination for Alex the Juggernaut Lexus. And today we may have one or two topics on our hands.
Hold up, what you call me? Alex the Juggernaut Lexus. I like that. That's a dope name. You know what? T-Riz hooked me up with a new alias. That's what I'm talking about. Good stuff. All right, but continue. My bad.
It's fine. It's fine. I gotta come up with something.
Oh, that was dope though.
So we got two topics on our hands. First and primary topic is.
Oh, but let's give Nelson a chance real quick. My bad. Nelson, quick intro, brother.
What's up, guys? Hopefully this is a good first episode of Hear Me Out.
Actually,
which
second.
is,
It's the second.
Well, the first one's pilot. Yeah, first one's pilot. You don't count that. So it's
What,
like
you
the first-
corrected me on the show? All right,
Yes,
I'm
I
just
did.
checking. I'm just checking.
So hopefully we have a good episode one of Hear Me Out, which is started up by T-Risk, and yeah, let's get right into it.
Alrighty. So, T-Rex, I know that this wasn't the initial first topic, but New Gaming Order audience, apparently, this has come to our attention, and Nelson already has access to this gaming router, aka dubbed the NETDUMA. There's a lot of things you can do with this, and I guess we're gonna do it in a Q&A format. If I'll let T-Riz lead that first, and then I already have my questions lined up. But NETDUMA, what is it? What are the benefits of using it? It's a gaming router. It's supposed to do some magic. And so here we go. I also want to give a shout out to Shin Raven, who's auto hosting this broadcast right now. So with that, T-Riz, you got the floor.
Alright. Well, first off, I've heard good things about this NETDUMA. The only other person I've heard of specifically owning this thing was Maximilian Dude. And we really didn't get much on that, aside from maybe one or two videos that he may have had on the particular subject. But this actually now hands-on from one of our own staff. So, Nelson, can you tell us about anything about this? Like, how much it costs, how well it runs?
Sure. This product originally came from the UK. Just to let you guys know, this is a UK affiliated company that made the NETDUMA R1 gaming router. It will retail you at $199, which you can clearly say $200.
Okay.
It's a basic pass-through router. Nothing to it. You don't need to go crazy on configuring. You don't need to have a login. Only thing you need to do is follow the onboard instructions that when you open the box, it tell you to type in an IP address, which will instantly and automatically log you into the router. And
So can you explain what a pass-through router actually means for the more novice like myself?
A pass-through router is basically something that connects to your ISP, which is your internet service provider main router. So let's say, for an example, I have Time Warner, and it's a big-ass box. The only thing I'm doing is hooking up one wire from my NETDUMA to the ISP router. Once that happens, I unplug every other Ethernet cable and put it through the NetDUMA, so it still transfers this internet signal into the NetDUMA, so I can use both of its features.
Hmm.
It won't decrease speed. It won't shut off bandwidth. It's just simply a pass through, just like a HDMI box.
Interesting. That's what I was about to equate it to because I'm looking and saying how it has geo filter, anti flood, denying allowing player hosting settings and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you, with that, what we were talking about offline, where how would it affect certain types of games where like let's say you can filter out the regions that you play in, like you
Correct.
know you let's say for instance Street Fighter 5, right? If you're
Mm-hmm.
using it on PC, you're putting it
Yeah.
between like your ISP router, Verizon, Time Warner, or now dubbed as another company. I forgot, they went through a recent restructuring, but you put that between the router. It's not going to cause any issues with the internet service provider.
No, it doesn't do anything to harm the internet service provider. It's just mainly a simple pass through. Think of it as like putting an add on to the
Mm-hmm.
item. That's technically all it is.
Okay. Now, what I'm looking at, it says allow and deny, right?
Yeah,
Played on a laggy host. You can now permanently block players or servers with bad connections.
correct.
Wow, wow. For $200, I'll just
Two
put it like
hundred
this.
dollars for peace of mind.
Yeah, like you pay for it that one time, and then it changes your gaming experience, like that. You know,
Yep.
and we've run into like a lot of Street Fighter situations where it's like, oh, laggy this, laggy that. But I fear that it can also be abused where certain people will not like, hey, they know they can't beat Japanese players or something in Street Fighter or Killer Instinct or Mortal Kombat, right?
Yes.
I'm just throwing names out there. But let's say they filter all that out and then they get to platinum or super platinum, because of this router. Is that a foreseeable issue or,
Now,
or exploit with that?
now that is an issue that has been came up to the NetDuma CEO and its community staff.
Hmm.
Um, they are trying to find ways so that you can't legitimately break the system. Yes, you can individually block out. Excuse me. You can individually block out different IPs of people that you have came across, but that will take you forever. You can't
Hmm.
do a wide band just because. And let's be realistic. If you live in New York and you're trying to fight people in Japan, that's non-existent. The bandwidth is stretching too far, so you will
Hmm.
not even play a Japanese player. So let's be real. But if you did live close to Japan, so let's say if you lived in Cali and
Hmm.
you try to bring it to Japan, that will happen. And you can use the geo filter to block anything outside of your region so you will not lag. It's not in a sense of meaning like, oh, I don't want to fight this particular player. You just want to have the most concentrated control bandwidth in your region. So you
Hmm.
will not have any issues or distortion and lag.
Yeah.
Now, again, this can be used in a bad way. I've already heard people purchasing the NetDuma and using it for Call of Duty, so they can individually block out servers that are even good. If, more or less, if I'm a sore loser and I block you intentionally for no fucking reason, that's how it can be abused.
Yeah, that's what I fear. That this looks like an excellent thing for fighters, but when you put too much power in the hands of gamers do stupid shit. Like bottom line, same thing with my motorcycle community. I did something on my bike where I removed the electronic or the ECU restrictions on it, so now it can do whatever the hell it wants. And the thing is, it comes with responsibility. I know they said, hey, if you unlock your ECU and you put the European maps for fueling and whatnot, and you're going faster, we do not have any such and such, accountability. You sign the waiver showing that, hey, you're going to make your bike potentially unsafe by going that fast. I know this, but restrictions are in place because not everyone is like me. I'm going to be responsible, but yeah, like imagine bringing a Ferrari with no ECU restrictions and whatnot. They're gonna have super loud mufflers and things like that. People do dumb shit without control. without restrictions. So with this router can potentially open up the door for something that's meant to be good, but exploited for something bad. What do you think,
Well,
T-Riz?
that's the case for a lot of things, like overclocking. You do a lot of this stuff in moderation,
Yes,
and
yes.
you do it what's in necessity of what's supposed to be used for. Now, sure, we mentioned this before, like the Call of Duty, where
Mhm.
people are specifically taking down good servers and bad servers so that their KD looks better
Mm,
for their rank.
yeah.
But for for the problems that we faced in Street Fighter the other day, whereas we get matches that are incredibly laggy, there's
Mhm.
also a lot of good that can come with this. So it really depends on the intentions of the person.
Mhm.
This this could be a really good thing, or it could be a really bad thing. But it has the intentions by the developers to be a good piece of hardware. It's
Yes.
up to whoever buys it to make it seem like a bad seed type of peripheral,
Mhm.
and
But
that's my
with
thoughts on it.
that, like, I understand that a lot of lag really happens with packet loss or data packets. Like,
Correct.
once that is exhausted, it has to kind of rebuffer itself, so to speak. So
Mm-hmm.
how does the NetDuma, like, it pretty much filters out, hey, what, hey, radar, this guy is gonna have a lot of packet loss. You're not gonna play him.
Correct.
It doesn't solve the whole thing with the packet loss itself. That's something that the internet service provider has to work on. And I say in about 15, 20 years, like, all of this, we're gonna be on some whole new Gen 5 sort of connections where even wireless is gonna be at the
If
fiber optic level.
if internet service providers could get together and like get their internets the way it's supposed to be, the way it
Like
should be right
Japan.
now, yeah, we would need a NetDuma.
This is true. This is true. All right. All right.
But the thing is, to answer a few little points here, with using the geo filter, yeah, it can be used as a good thing and it can also be used as a penalty. But think of it as this: the
Mhm.
more you block, whether if it's good or bad ping, the little of matches you will have. Period. You will
Mhm.
basically destroy your own gaming experience. You will not have a full experience no more. You will now be resorting to probably like maybe 3 matches per night,
Mhm.
and that will desecrate you because then you're not getting a real life true ranking skill gaming experience from whether it's Call of Duty or
Yeah.
Street Fighter or whatever. Now, in the sense of what you asked earlier about packet loss,
Mhm.
with the NetDuma, you can run a test. It will legitly tell you if your ping, your bandwidth, your packet loss, or any other information that you need is a sufficient or a good amount for you to play
Mhm.
within the router itself. And if it says that if you have packet losses, it will tell you how much it lost, of how much it was trying to ping out. And with that information provided, you can bring to your ISP and directly fix the problem.
I see. All right. Interesting. Interesting.
You
I, I
can
I'm tempted because with my Street Fighter experience, like, there's some folks that, especially on ranked, like, you're losing to folks that you wouldn't have lost to, or you're like, oh man, I tried to do this move, but a Dragon Punch comes out. I see some good things, but I'm looking also in the website, like, esports can definitely benefit from this. Imagine having the esports, like, use this as a standard where now everybody is included that has a good connection. So if you're in China, if you're in Australia, Europe, South America, and you want to get on the grandest stage of them all, where it comes to online gaming or participating in games like Smite, League of Legends, and what have you, this can kind of open segue into that, or like, hey, you don't have to go to the event anymore if you financially or fiscally can't fund that. A $200 investment to open certain doors, that'd be great. I think it will serve that purpose for esports. You know what I mean? What are your feedback on that, T-Riz?
Yeah, definitely. It seems like it could be greatly beneficial to esports.
Yeah.
Like, I think specifically, as you said, the community more like StarCraft and Dota might might benefit from this more than like a COD or maybe a what is that? I think Counter Strike.
Uh huh. Yeah. Okay. Man, because I'm looking at some of the, the videos that's provided on the NetDuma website. Uh, I mean, they have pretty much like the network monitor on the bottom left, and I'm sitting here like, avoiding laggy hosts. It's pretty much showing everything in real time. Well, not real time, but like real time on dated video. So, I mean, I'm looking at different things from allow and deny. I mean, I'm interested if Maximilian is using this. That man, that's a smart man. Especially since he's running streams and he's doing the show at the level that he's doing. I wonder if Gutex and Mike Ross have access to this.
They do not have this router. I can tell you right off the bat because
I'm surprised
they
though.
I'm
they
also
mainly
surprised.
do content to where it's local recording,
Okay.
and they mainly play on the PC, but they want the bad and the good at the same time because it creates uh, a comedic content. So it's like it's fine for them to get laggy matches. It's fine for them not to get laggy matches. It's creative content, so
Yeah.
they're smart on doing that.
Now, if for those of you watching the chat, the stream right now, if that's the software, that's amazing. Like you could actually zoom in on those regions.
Correct. That is the actual software. Let me go a little bit more in depth. You see the biggest red circle there?
Yeah.
That's within the thing. That is your active connected host
Mhm.
that you are pinging to. And what the guy is showing you is the ping graph. So if it's exceeding over to what he is having, so let's say for an example, if it's too high, he could instantly update it and put it that it's a bad connection. And what he just showed you is that he's not able to connect to him because he blocked that server because
Mhm.
it's a horrible host. Now it tells you outside of your region, you see those yellow triangles.
Yeah.
Those are people that it's trying to ping to, but it cannot due to the fact of your geo filter is only specified for that certain portion in the UK. So
Okay.
you're only going to get that portion. And when you do get that big red circle, it will tell you how much ping it is. And if it goes over your limit, so let's say you said it's a 30 ms, but it's touching like 40, 41, you will have to be the judge whether if it
If you
does connect
wanna, if you wanna risk it or not, right?
right, right. And you can also put it so that you can always play in this server and it'll always be in your active router settings. Now, if
Okay.
you don't want to play with it, of course, you can do the reverse and, you could block it so it's a perma, I'll never connect to this bad piece of shit ever again. So
Mhm.
that's a good purpose for that. It goes more in depth to where there's I'm pretty sure some people in the PC world has heard about this something called VPN.
Oh yeah.
If anyone has heard about this is also incorporated in the NetDuma router where there has been issues within the Destiny community, within League of Legends and stuff like that. Top name streamers who do get popular and people do get jealous, they try to DDoS them. They try to bring down their stream
Oh yeah,
and put
yeah.
them offline.
So
With
this
the
can
V-
defend you?
Correct.
Hmm. Interesting. Tyrus, what do you think about that? I mean, if hmm.
Again, $200 for peace of mind.
So
That's the best way I could
pretty much, what is
put that.
peace of mind worth to you? Will you kick out, and NetDuma also has what was that, a Twitter. Yeah, it's funny. Nelson just mentioned it to the DDoSer who's been attacking such and such. You're blocked. We know where you live. Blah, 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 Manchester. What? What? Okay, you know what? I'm surprised when Sony and Microsoft got DDoSed, right? Why don't they have technology like this in place to protect the servers?
Well, the thing
Can I tell
they
you?
do have it in place, but sometimes it's not the strongest security. They put bare minimum.
Bare minimum? Come on, like, bro. People like me, Shin Takuma, Playboy, my cousin, like, with these major companies, and I wish Goken was on. Like, he can probably break it down even like further. Like, bare minimum? Come on now. Like, you're Microsoft, you're Sony, you're supposed to have something like this. You have independent company that came out with technology that's providing security to individual users that the big companies couldn't even provide. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's
But
crazy.
but you also have to understand that they didn't assume that people would be doing this or even want to do
Adapt.
this to ruin to other people's experience. But you also have to understand when people normally get DDoSed on the stream, it's usually just one person doing
Okay.
the DDoSing. When it's towards a company, you have hundreds of people doing it, so it's a bigger attack.
Mm-hmm.
So this can protect you from DDoSing because you can flip your IP provider instantaneously, like seconds. You could boom, 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 keep changing it as fast as you want, and you'll never get caught. You'll never be tampered with. You'll always have the best experience. You won't get knocked off offline. Nothing.
This is insane. I might have to get this. Like
Um,
once I get back to work, I might have to get this because this is like insane.
I'm trying to see anything else I can bring up. Oh, there's also something called a congestion control, which is on the left-hand side, which you see there. You can technically sit there and filter out any disturbance within your household that's on your router. So let's say you have like your cousins, your mom, your dad, whatever. They're on like wireless stuff. They're on like the PS4 downstairs. They're on their iPad. They're on the tablet, PC, whatever. You can put priority of how much bandwidth they're using instead
Well-
of you getting overflooded and ruining your gaming experience.
Well, can't you put that in the Verizon router? The I forget the one I got for FiOS. I know that you can do something similar to that.
Right, but it's a particular restriction with the Verizon thing because I had the
Yeah,
same.
that's
you have.
dual band, right?
Yeah, I have the same exact router, and the thing is, you can put a restriction of how much the person can use of a bandwidth limiter, but at the same time, it doesn't stay locked. Because let's say, for an example, if no other device is turned on, and your cousin with an iPad was the very first thing that turned on in the house this morning,
Hmm.
that has priority. And that takes over. And then that
Mm.
becomes the first thing that will get all the bandwidth until the main one that did want the most bandwidth gets on. With the
Yeah.
NetDUMA, it stays locked no matter who or what gets on.
And I
You
just
can-
saw that, like with the graph, you can actually
Mhm.
like the GUI looks amazing. Like you don't have to be like like how can I say like too tech savvy to
Mhm.
figure it out. Like if you have a basic understanding of how to manipulate these things, you
Mhm.
someone like at our level, the new gaming order staff, I'm pretty sure we can turn into major juggernauts with capes like Spawn and start pimp smacking people with this, like on some
Now,
serious stuff.
now, I do also want to advise that we're not speaking of the NetDUMA as if we were sponsored or affiliated by them. We're not being paid to speak about this because I want to get that known right now because not many people out there have this product nor know of it. So I just want to make that very clear. But also on top of what you just mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
again, specifically, if you was a player that was having trouble with lag, yes, this will help you, play at a better experience plane, but it will not make you a pro player.
Yeah.
It will not increase your skills to what you already have. It will just make it easier and much more of a relaxing pace to not get frustrated over nothing. You won't have no lag, no stuttering, no jittering, nothing. Because once you locked it into the NetDUMA and you tell the NetDUMA, hey, I have 100 down and 100 up, let's just say. Once you put it to that, it locks it in, it configures it within your bandwidth, and it works with you. It doesn't work against you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want someone that has 50 ms of ping and you keep it there, it will not find anyone else until it finds that specific requirement, and it's really fast. We're talking about like, I did it for Street Fighter. I waited like no more than less than 30 seconds. I got right into a match, and it stood, when I put it to 30, it didn't go nowhere higher. The match was smooth. It was clean. I was able to do all my combos. It felt like I was playing offline.
All right, I have to contact NetDuma and see if we can. Like, I need to test this. Like, I really would like to do like a whole dissertation on how this thing works. I'm pretty sure there are other videos out there with more established shows with more of a subscriber base, but man, this can really like, mm,
I think you should
And
also mention that it's not going to help if you have a bad connection. Like
correct.
if you have a bad connection, you will always have a bad connection.
Right,
It
but
only work within the confines of your bad connection.
the thing is as well, because it was a guy on YouTube. He's not a big YouTuber or anything like that, but he has a connection where it was only 5 down and probably 0.750 kilobytes up. Even with that connection, he is still able to find a game that has a good host to still carry his connection, because if the host has a good connection, the host will basically split evenly among of whoever's in that host region party, and you'll play a non-laggy experience. So it does help to an extent, but it won't help to a degree. Like if you just have shit internet, as what Seaver said, you will have shit internet. But it does work with you.
oh man, it's this that's sick, bro. Oh my goodness. And you know what? They also have a couple of blogs on Overwatch lag fix guides. And what's that? Lag fix guide for Call of Duty. You know, um, I'm looking at this. This looks amazing. I'm blown away. Like that something like this exists. You know, like man, where was this when we were playing? When Xbox Live went live, literally when we were playing Unreal. You know what I mean? Like me on your knees, Shinwar, day one when Xbox Live first popped up. This something like this would have been great, you know. But man, it's better late than never. And you know, I'm seeing activity in the chat. So if you can cover that for me, Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I mean, damn, $200 for a peace of mind. I think it's worth it. What do you think, T-Rex?
I definitely think it's worth it, especially after what I've heard yesterday and today about this thing.
Mm-hmm. Man, unbelievable.
I mentioned earlier, I heard Maximilian had this thing, but I wasn't really convinced until like Nelson pretty much explained exactly what this thing really does and just how it truly benefits your playing experience if you use it for that extent.
Okay.
Right. I also tested it early this morning because I don't have it on as like a permanent thing. I take it on and off when I want to do extensive gaming. I tried playing Destiny. I tried playing Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I tried to play Halo 5 today. And literally it works the same. I tried it playing with my just original ISP router. I had some hit detection where it didn't register until I died and then that person died. But with the NETDUMA, and I set the parameters, when I shot, it felt like the hit detection was on the money. No messes, no glitchiness, no nothing. And I got my kill because I was the first to fire. That's how it's supposed to be within first-person shooters, and that's how the response time that you need to have. So if it was up to me, I would recommend this to any pro gamer, casual gamer, streamer, esports participant. Must look into this NETDUMA R1 Ultimate Gaming Router.
Wow, I am just blown away. I might have to, you know, once I'm back to work, that's probably gonna be one of the few electronic things that I pick up in the near future, because this is something. And you know what I'm seeing here for streamers, aka us. You know, allocate your bandwidth to your stream, improve your gaming experience, minimize lag, completely protects against DDoSing, easily configure settings with no technical knowledge required. Man, I'm telling you, Nelson, you shouldn't have told me about this. I gotta find some way to get funding for this.
Well,
Okay.
what I'm in the midst of doing now, I'm in contacts with NETDUMA, and I'm gonna see if we could do some partnership with them to at least, you know, have them be able to sponsor us in a sense of like showing their product off and talking about it, in a sense where we don't have to be, what you call it, in a way where we have to pretend that we're talking good about the router. I want to.
No, this is legit. Like, you know,
Right.
I don't even own this thing, and
Right. I want a 100% full honest review of my personal opinion, not something that they wrote down on a piece of paper and I had to read word for word. If that is the case, I would like to see if they could give us something where we could be in partnership with them and probably to get free routers to give away, if that is a good
Well,
thing to do.
well, I'm gonna send this to their PR team because you know what? To anyone at NetDUMA, you guys have an excellent product here, and I haven't even used it yet. From the testimony from Nelson and just everything that we've been reviewing on your site, this is some good stuff. Some good stuff. I see that just like how the AverMedia took off and the streaming stuff took off, with the capture cards. I see this being in this. It's going to be part of the whole gaming culture. Like I see some really good things coming out of this. But
I could definitely see this as part of someone's toolkit.
yes, yes. This, everyone now, like on at least with the main staff that streams, we have the Elgato capture card, the HD60s, floating around. You know what I mean? So this is definitely gonna be like a must-have, going forward. Especially if you're a streamer that is on the go. You know what I mean? Like, 2017 before I deploy, I'm gonna be hitting a lot of internet cafes and things of that nature. There's one that opened here in Union County that I'm gonna actually see if I had something like this and with their internet connection set up over there. Man, this is something. I don't have anything else to say on this. I'm gonna do some research. Nelson, if you can do like a step by step like series for our channel talking about what this thing does, and just breaking it down into layman's terms for everybody, you know I'm sure they can make some sales and hey, help them to help us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I will do a 4-part series of how to use the NetDuma, how to set it up, and how it would benefit the particular game that you are playing. It also, I would like to make a quick mention before we sign off. It takes very vast knowledge of what gamers are doing, in the sense of like, okay, you're not a PC gamer, you play on Xbox Live, we got a configuration just for you. You play on PS4, we got you. You play on the Wii U, we got you. They have it there, and clickable links where you get to see if the service of that company, such as Xbox, Sony, or Nintendo, has their active service up, or is it down. It will tell you within the router of the conference itself.
What?
So you
They
don't
thought
have
of
to waste your
everything.
time. So you will not have to waste your time on that. And yeah, it really puts it down. Even if the game is not listed, because there are some games that are missing, and that's something you will have to write their tech support so they can add the support for the game.
Mm-hmm.
You can still add an advanced port forwarding thing. If you know the UDP, the TCP codes for the game, you could put it in and it will still be registered for that game. So
Now,
you won't have a miss out.
question with that, being that ordinarily that's controlled through your ISP router, does that override whatever port forwarding you already have in your router? For
No.
instance, oh, it doesn't.
No, everything that you're doing on the NetDuma is NetDuma configurable on the NetDuma. This will not touch anything on your ISP router. It's just simply a pass-through.
Okay.
Once the NetDuma is on, you're doing everything on the NetDuma. You're no longer touching anything on the regular ISP, and it also has built-in Wi-Fi for you people who do give a damn about that.
Wow, that's, you know what, for my motorcycle people who see this is like a power commander. It pretty much takes all the controls and puts it in your hand, pretty much. So, all right, good stuff. So, T-Ris, why don't you bring us home?
All right. Well, with that segment's coming to a close, and now we're going to part 2 of this, and we're switching off to the initial topic at hand for Hear Me Out. So stay tuned, and we'll see you guys later.
All right, New Gaming Order, we'll be right back.